Bless the name of the Lord. Amen. Now, I haven't shared with Brother Christopher nothing. Not one word. And for him to come out and sing a song like that, talking about moving forward. Church, it's just confirmation from God that it is time for us to move forward. Y'all better help me this morning. Oh, I'm going to preach it. I'm going to preach it. If it's the last thing that I do this morning, I'm going to give you what God has given unto me. It is time, oh, forgive me, to God be the glory. To our pastor, to my nephew, my wife. God bless you. Amen. To the body of Christ. It is a good time to be a Christian. In spite of what you may be hearing on the news, in spite of what may be going on in the body of Christ, it is a good time to be a child of the Almighty God. Y'all help me this morning. Because in this day and time, there is a lot going on. But in the midst of all that's going on, God says to the church, I'm going to get the glory. Y'all better help me. God says to the church that in spite of whatever you may hear or even see, I'm still going to get the glory. Amen, amen. In our text that was read in our hearing this morning, I already prayed, God, I'm good. God got me. That's all that we need to know. Because it is time to dig, church. It's time to move forward.
Amen.
Brother, you had no idea that God was dealing with me on such a subject. But from the scripture reading in Judges, the 7th chapter, I just really want to press upon a few scriptures, if you will, this morning. The Lord said to Gideon, you have too many men for me to deliver many into their hands. In order that Israel may not boast against me, that her own strength has saved her. Let me talk to you just for a minute from this section of the scripture. God is going to do a mighty thing in Amazing Grace.
Yes, He is. Yes, He is.
And God says to Amazing Grace, I'm going to do it my way so that no man can boast that he has done it in his own strength. From the leader of the house until the congregation that follow, God says to you that it's not in your might, it's not in your wisdom, it's not in your knowledge, but I, the Lord, am going to gain the glory out of what's about to take place in this house. But God says to the house, you still have to move forward. Oh, church, you cannot go back. You can't look back. It's time to put the past in the past. And what God is saying in the text this morning, yes, I have a leader, but leader, you got to hear from me this morning. You have to follow my instructions because I'm going to gain the glory out of this. But what I want you to do is hear from me so that you can give it to my people. And once you give it to my people, I'm going to get the glory. Oh, y'all got that one. Oh, y'all all agree with me on that one. Oh, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Announce now to the people, anyone who trembles. Woo! Somebody gonna get this one right here. Somebody gonna get this. That tremble with fear may turn back and leave Mount Gilead. So 22,000 men left, while 10,000 remained. Oh, let me put a note right here. I got to put a pen right there. Church, everybody cannot go into this battle with us. You have to be a soldier that's willing to go in battle. You cannot be afraid of what you are going to face in the midst of what is going to take to do what God has anointed this church to do. In other words, everybody is not meant to go with you. Everybody cannot follow you into this battle. Pastor, I just want you to understand this morning that everybody that left, everybody that took flight was not meant to go into the battle with you. God has certain people that will stand in the battle with you. And even though what you have left, God is still saying, because I understand what he was telling Gideon in the text, that even 22 out of 22,000, 10,000 was left. But understand this, y'all. Even the 10,000 that was left, God said it was too many. I wrestled with this thing. I'm telling you, I wrestled with it yesterday. And I said, Lord, well 22,000 then already left. 10 is left. Why is 10,000 too many? And God said, because number one, you have to understand what you're dealing with. 10,000 is 10,000 different personalities. So that means there's 10,000 different spirits that you're going to have to deal with. Now, there is some spirits that just cannot tag along with you. Why? Because they will cause distraction in the house. Oh, Sister Leona, you hear what I said? I said 10,000 of them will cause distraction in the house. Sometimes you have to understand with God that numbers don't mean a thing. I said it last week and I'm going to say it again. I don't understand how God do math, but what I do understand about God is the math that he does works. Oh, somebody help me this morning. Woo! God will take a number that we cannot figure out and cause it to work, and we will still be trying to figure out how God caused 10% to work in his house and give us 90, and we still haven't figured it out yet. Come on, somebody. Y'all help me this morning. And then he said to Gideon in verse number 4, but the Lord said to Gideon, there are still too many men to take them down to the water, and I will sift them for you. There. Listen to me, y'all. The reason why you're here is because God has orchestrated for you to be here.
Amen.
God said, I will do the sifting. See, we want to blame a lot of people for what's going on here. We want to blame a lot of people. But have we ever took in consideration that God shifted out the people who he wanted here at this day and at this time? Do you know what sifting does? Do you know what sifting does? I have some cooks in the house. I know y'all understand that when you sift it, you get the fine things.
Say that. Go ahead.
Oh, you get the fine things out of the lumpy stuff. Oh, come on, somebody. Have you ever fried chicken and then the flour get all lumpy and then you throw it into the hot grease and the flour just falls off? And it caused the meat to look all messed up and burnt and lumpy and crumpy and undesirable. But when you sift it, you get the lumpy stuff out. And then you can apply the fine flour onto the chicken. Oh, somebody help me this morning. And when the flour is fine, it coats the whole chicken. So when it gets into the heat, it still turns out nice, crispy, and go.
Yeah.
Somebody help me this morning.
All right.
God done said to Gideon, I want you to go down to the water and I will do the same. God said to you this morning, you are the production out of what I sifted so that you can produce some fruit in the house. He said you are the final things of life. Oh, church, y'all better help me this morning. God called you the final things of life. Everybody else may be looking at you like you are nobody. Everybody else might walk in the door and say, it ain't but a few of them. But God said, I sifted them. The final things in the kingdom. I sifted them out because they're going to do some work in the house. They can stand the heat when they get a little hot. They're not worried about you talking about what they're doing. They're not worried about what you think about where they're going. But they are the final things of life.
Yes, Lord. Woo! Wow. Thank you, Jesus.
God said to Gideon, I will ship them there if I say. See, this is what we have to understand about God. And this is the ear that we have to get so that we can hear what God is saying to us. This is the reason why you can't put your eye on yourself. Because God said, if I, God, say, this one shall go with you. Then it shall go. But if I say to you, this one shall not go, he shall not go. But what I really need you to understand, church, is that God has called the people out that can go.
Yes.
Now, whether you can understand it or not, it's not up to you. Whether they have a big bank account or a small bank account or no bank account at all. This is the people that God said can go. You just better get used to it and learn how to get along with the people that God said could go. And what I really understand about it is this. The people that God said cannot go is the very people that will hinder your growth. Y'all better help me. God said to me, as I was in my meditation, the reason why I do the sifting is because you don't understand the folk like I understand them. You don't know the folk like I know. So the folk that I said cannot go, they left, they gone. So don't you worry about those folk, but what you should be worried about is the folk that I said can go. Now these are the folks that I want you to fellowship with. These are the folks I want you to pay attention to. These are the folks that I want you to encourage on the journey. These are the folk that I want you to build the house that I'm calling for you to build. So learn how to get along with the folk that I said can go. This is it. This is it. And then he said to Gideon, I'm going to help somebody right now. This is what he said to Gideon. So Gideon took the men down to the water. He said, there the Lord told him. See, the Lord told him, separate those who lap the water with their tongues like a dog from those who kneel down to drink. Oh, I'm about to help somebody right here. This is something that I really never paid attention to all of my life coming up. God says separate them and those who lap like a dog with their hands. Them are the ones that I want you to keep. I said, Lord, well, why? Put their hands to their face, lap, put their tongue like a dog. Do you want them to remain? But didn't. This is the reason why, y'all. A dog, when he laps or when he eats, he stands on four legs. His head may go down a little, but his eyes are always up.
That's true. That's true. Oh my. Yeah, that's true.
And I said to myself, Lord, thank you, because I get it. Because what you have to understand is those who lap like a dog, and their head may go down a little bit, but their eyes are always up. They can see the enemy when he begins to come. See, you have to have an eye in your spirit, God said to me, that's always up. Because you have to be able to discern when the enemy is going to try and start some stuff in the house. Oh, y'all help me with this. In your spirit sometime, you will be warned by God that here comes the enemy to start some stuff in the house to try and hinder while you moving forward, because he don't want to see you go nowhere. He's trying to keep you stuck right where you at. And I said, Lord, but it's only 300 of them. And God said, yeah. Because what you have to understand is it's 300 of them, but I'm with them.
That's it.
That's it.
Right there. God said if I decided that I would just take one of them, I'm still with them. So if you have to stand by yourself and God is with you, you already won. If God be for you, who can be against you? I had to get an understanding last night, y'all, that separated me for a while, because I'm trying to figure out how 300 men gonna beat a whole city.
Yes.
And so, as I continue to study the text, when God said, I'm with the 300 men, I'm going to send the rest, Gideon, I want you to send the rest of the men. And see, this is how God do. He did not get rid of the rest of the people. He did not cast them as a downcast and nothing like that. He did not put them out, but he told Gideon to send all of them back to their tent. So see, even though the people that God has sifted out here right now, the rest of them that's out there doing whatever it is that they're doing, God didn't cast them out though. He just put them in a whole different place. He said, Gideon, send those people back to their own tents. See, God done sifted them out. And we allowed them, by the grace of God, to go back to their own tents. He did not say they would not join up with us later on, y'all. Don't y'all miss it. Don't y'all miss it. Don't y'all listen. And don't you get upset when folks start coming back. God, when you finish doing what you are supposed to be doing by the grace of God, don't get mad because those other folk decided that they were going to run off and do what they're doing. Because God, it was his sifting that caused those folk to leave. But he didn't get rid of them. They're in the camp, taking care of the camp. They have families in the camp. See, we have to understand that because God sifted us out and called our hands to go out here and do the work, that the people that left, we are still responsible to encourage them. Y'all better hear me this morning. Because you cannot be a child of God and hold envy against folk who are not suited for the battle like you are. Because God calls special people to do special things because they are able to handle what they're about to face. See, church, you don't realize that we're about to go through some changes. Y'all better get hip. When you start doing work for the kingdom, the devil gonna do everything he can to cause you to hinder the growth and the building of the kingdom. So God said, I sent them down there, and the men that left with their hands like dogs, I want you to keep them because they got their eyes up. And they can see the enemy when he's about to attack. I want you to know the devil is a liar. He done tried already to start some stuff in the house. But God told me last night, stay on your word, Brother Deloney, because somebody need to understand it's the eyes and the spirit that's going to carry you through what the devil is trying to cause you to start some mess. So I got that part. And I'm thanking God for that. Because he called you out because he know that you are able. This should encourage you to want to go on and continue to build the house that God is calling for us to build. Because you know that you spotted the devil. I heard somebody coming to church this morning say, I'm full. I've been praising God all night long. See, that's when you have eyes in the spirit. And you can see the devil coming to attack you. And then you just say, Lord, I'm not going to allow him to do this to me. I'm going to praise you no matter what goes on. See, sometimes you got to praise God when the mess gets started. My God. It's called worship. Oh, is he talking about worship? Or is he talking about moving on? Is he talking about worship? Or is he talking about moving on? Let me be playing with you. I'm talking about both. Worship and move on. Worship and move on. And so he says to Gideon, in your worship, somebody gonna get it. Because you're obedient in your worship, I want you to understand something, Gideon. The 300 men that I gave you, this is what I want you to do. Oh, can I go there this morning? Go there. What I want you to do, Gideon, is to follow the instructions that I'm about to give to you. Woo! See, when you follow God's instructions, you cannot miss victory.
That's right. That's true. That's true.
When you follow the instructions of God, let me put it this way. You already have the victory.
Yes. Amen. That's true.
I gotta make it plain. I gotta break it down. I gotta put it that way because see, it's not that you're gonna get the victory, but when you follow his instructions, the victory already yours.
Amen. Amen.
You might have to deal with some things to get the victory, but you already have it.
Yep.
And when you're following God, you know God will take you through all that you're going through as long as you keep your eyes on him. Pastor, keep your eyes on the Lord. Don't let nobody, not Brother Deloney, not Brother Bill, or nobody else, get your eyes off of the instruction of God. You have to be bold in yourself to say to the Lord, yes, Lord, I'm going to follow you no matter what it takes. I'm going to walk, oh God, with you no matter what I have to go through. When the heat get a little hot, gracious God, I know I can call on you because I already have the victory. I don't care what the devil brings to me. I already have the victory. So this is the instruction God gave Gideon. He said, Gideon, this is what I want you to do with 300 men against a whole city. I want you to take one half and you go on one side and you take, no. You take 100 and I want them to go this way. You take another 100, and I want them to go that way. And then you take 100 with you, and I want y'all to go this way. And Gideon, this is what I want you to do. I want you to get some trumpets. Oh, somebody help me this morning. And I want you to get some glass. Because what I'm about to do for you, Gideon, is called worship. Y'all listen. What I'm about to do for you, Gideon, is called worship. I want you to take the trumpets, and at my command, I want you to blow your trumpets. I'm saying to myself, what in the world is God going to do with a blowing of a trumpet? God said, number one, Gideon, with the trumpet, you're going to make a loud noise. But with the glass, the clashing of the glass is going to cause the camp to be in confusion. Oh, y'all missed it. See, sometimes God gives you specific instructions because what he about to do is gain glory. The man can't gain the glory out of it because he only blowing a trumpet. Right. He's sitting on the outside around the camp, and he never has to enter in. Somebody help me this morning. See, sometimes you don't have to get into the battle. All you got to do is allow God to instruct you and listen to the instruction and do what God said do. Now, the clashing of the glass is going to cause confusion in the camp. You see, God will cause your enemy to harm them own selves. Yes. Woo, somebody should have shouted right there. Because the devil want to try to do things to you, but God won't allow him to, because he calls those that wish to do you harm to harm themselves. That's right. And so, Gideon followed the instructions of the Lord. This is why it's so important, y'all, that obedience is better than sacrifices. You can sacrifice all you want to, but if you don't obey, you out of line. You out of the wheel.
Say that.
You're not doing what he told you to do. You're not following the instructions. And when God gives instruction, it's because he's looking out for your best. He's looking out for your best. Now, if you go home and read the text, this is what happens in the text. Yeah. At the sounding of the trumpet, the people was alarmed. Yeah. But at the breaking of the glass, they started to harm themselves. They started killing up one another. Gideon and the 300 men were outside the camp where millions of these people were down in that camp. Just having relaxed time, and they wasn't worried about nothing. They wasn't worried about the Israelites and nobody else. But here come God. God said, I'm going to do this thing, Gideon, so that I can gain glory. Church, what God is about to do for us when we follow the instruction, God is going to gain the glory out of what takes place here. Y'all better hear me this morning. It's only 10 or 12 of us, but God said I can take 10 and 12 and do my will. Oh, y'all better listen to me this morning. I can take whatever it is that you have and I can multiply it beyond your measures. God says to the church, I can take this membership right here, right now, that's in the house this morning, and I can still build a new church if they follow the instructions. If you are obedient to what I tell you to do, you are going to see a miracle in this place. You are about to see what God can do with you. You see, I was looking at y'all at the mega thing, and I said to the Lord, I said, Lord, why do people want to follow these many mega churches out there? God said to me, because some folk don't want to get their hands dirty doing anything. They want to be in the shadow. They don't want to be out front. They don't want to be seen. They don't want to have to sacrifice anything. He said, but this is why I take the smaller numbers to allow my will to take place and be done, is that I can gain glory out of this. See, there was no misunderstanding that Gideon and his army did not go into the battle. Right. They just showed up, followed the instruction, and God gained the glory. Somebody help me this morning. I know Israelite could go back and claim that they did it in their strength. But what they did go back and say is, to God be the glory. See, church, God is going to say, when the buildings start going up, we're going to be saying, to God be the glory. It wasn't nothing that I did. I just showed up and did what he said to do, but to him be the glory. Church, we just hang on in here and do what God said do. We are going to see the glory of God in this place. Amen. Move mightily in the house, and the people of God are going to live radiant lives because they were obeying the will of God.
Yes, that's right. Amen. Yes, God, I hear you. Amen.
To you, sir,
I receive.
Be the glory.
Yes. Yes.
Jehovah Jireh.
Yes. I provide.
My provider.
That's right.
Jehovah Nisi.
Yes.
Because he reigned in victory.
Yes.
Jehovah Rohi. The Lord, my healer.
Yes.
I'm praying for my daughter right now as I preach. But I'm saying in my spirit, Jehovah Rohi, the God, my healer, is already there. The victory has already been won. See, what we have to understand, that God gives out specifics. Are your ears open?
Yes.
Oh, I have a question for you this morning. Is your heart open?
Yes.
Is your spirit open?
Yes.
Because what you have to understand is you have to hear the instructions of God in order to do what God needs for you to do. Now, what I want you to do this morning, though, is play your part. Play your part. Don't step in other folks' lane because you feel like they're not doing it the way you want it done.
Wow.
But you stay over in your lane and you listen to God so that God can instruct you on what he has for you. Gideon, Gideon stayed in his lane. He said, well, God, if you say this is the way you want it done, then this is the way I'm going to do it. Because whatever you say, see, this is the key right here. Whatever you say, I believe. See, I believe. I believe. Whatever he said. That's what should be done. So Gideon stayed in his lane. He followed the instructions to a T, as we say. Church, each and every one of you, I'm going to close. But each and every one of you have a part to play, because when God did the sifting, that's why you landed up here.
That's right.
Because God has a specific place for you here, and a specific job for you. It's for you. It's not for everybody else. We have to get this. We have to understand that each one of us must play our part.
Yes.
Y'all hear me this morning?
Yes, sir.
Because you already got the victory.
That's right.
But you just got to learn how to walk in it. You already got the victory. You just got to learn how to be obedient.
Yes.
You already got the victory. There's no need for you to sweat over it.
Right.
There's no need for nobody to get all bent out of shape over it. There's no need for you to have a love loss over it, because you already have the victory. If you go down to that 9th verse and read it, the Lord said, tonight, I'm going to put them into your hands.
That's right.
Because God said it. You already have it. You already have it. He didn't say it's going to take 20 years from now. He didn't say that. He told Gideon tonight. I wonder how many of us have heard God speak to our hearts and are waiting on our tonight.
Yes. Yes.
Tonight. Tonight. God saying to you, do you trust me this morning? Am I number one this morning? Are you going to be obedient because I chose you? And you are the finer thing. You are the finer people. People, let me put it this way. The finer people. You're small in numbers, but you're the finer. And I want to use you. But follow the instruction and move forward. Do not. Keep your head up, y'all. Just like the dog. Look, your head might dip a little bit, but your eyes are still up. You can still see straight ahead of you. You can see the enemy when he starts to come. So keep your head up and look forward. Don't turn around and start looking back there.
That is so true.
Miss something.
Brother Chris,
So
that was the simple.
true.
Move.
Forward.
Go. We putting all that else stuff
That's
on.
right.
Yesterday is gone.
Thank you.
Tomorrow may not be mine. But Lord, right now,
Yeah.
right now is our tonight.
Yeah.
Right now is your tonight.
Yeah.
You know what they say. I can't see it, I can't touch it, but right now is my tonight. Victory is mine right now. So church, I want you to follow these instructions that God just gave us as a church, as the body of Christ. And remember, whenever the devil tries to attack you, just tell him, God said, I'm the finer thing. I'm the finer thing. I'm the finer person. I can deal with the heat that I'm about to go through. Because I already remind him, y'all remind him, tell him straight up, oh, devil, look, I already got the victory, so I'm not going to let you take the victory away from me. I'm not going to allow you to use me to cause confusion. I'm not going to allow you to use me to thread on other people. I'm not going to allow you to cause me to cross over in somebody else's lane. But I already got the victory because God said, tonight, you already in my hands.
Yes. Yes.
Are you ready for the moving forward
Yes.
in amazing grace? Are you ready to see God do what God gonna do and watch him gain glory out of your life? You're gonna gain the glory out of your life. But just follow the instructions
Amen.
and God does.
Amen.
Amen.